Hi everyone, in this video we're going to show you how we install solar on this massive 42 bed manor house.
My name's Corey from Ecocute, an electrician. We are doing a solar PV job today across two separate pretty much properties. So you've got one property to the left hand side, they call it east and west wing. So you've got a meter for one side and a meter for the other, both three phase. So in theory we're treating it as two separate jobs. Panels are actually going on the back side of this roof, so we can have a bit of a walk around there and see where they're getting installed. Follow me. So as you can see, this is the rear of the property where the panels are actually being installed. You can see on camera where the scaffolding comes out, they're the roofs where the panels are getting put on. On the main roof, sort of facing south towards us, that's where you're having most of the panels. I think there's about 26 panels on that roof. And then you've got four other separate roofs, both on east and west, are all getting split. So in theory you've got 6 strings in total. So you'll have 3 strings on one inverter and 3 strings on the other. So that's the old property, and that's the new side. So the east and west wing, all separated by 2 separate meters. The customer has asked us, because most of the utilities and most of the appliances are on the old side, they want us to do maybe a 60-40 split instead of a 50-50. We'll probably have a chat with them later on in the day and see how much they actually want to go on one side to the other. Yeah, so this customer, we had a chat regarding battery storage and we decided not to go down that route. Simple reason is because the property is quite that big, the customer's going to use most of that energy in the day anyway. So there's not going to be much surplus energy for them charging batteries up. We're a bit also concerned that they might not get the dual tariff, so the cheap rate overnight, so a bit concerned they might not get that. So what we decided is, look, we'll go down the solar PV route, just install solar. We can always add batteries as an AC coupled version at a later date, but we decided to go down for just the solar now, see how they get on, and then maybe look into that again, maybe at a later date. Yeah, so solar PV, why go for solar PV? Cheap bills. The way things are nowadays, bills are always increasing. Solar PV is really cheap. Most people tend to think it's really expensive, but it's not. Obviously for a large system like this, you're obviously paying a little bit more, but for a normal domestic property, you might get something $3.5 grand for quite a decent sized system. So yeah, going down the solar route, why not put money into investing into a savings account? But again, these days you don't get much return investment on a savings account. But with solar PV, you might pay $4 grand and maybe in 4 years' time you've paid it off. Everything after that then is all just free. You've cut down on your electricity bill by half or even more going for solar. So nowadays it's just a no-brainer. So if you follow me through the house now, we'll go down to where all the mains are, where we're installing all those equipment downstairs. It's all in the cellar. So yeah, follow me. Here it is. Yeah, this is where all the mains are. And I've got to try and tackle and make it look a bit neater. As you can see, you've got 2 separate meters, one's for east wing, one's for west wing. So we always, whenever we do our installations, we try and keep everything separate to their equipment, just so everything in our equipment is all up to current regulations. So we're going to sort of try and tidy this up a little bit and put all those equipment. There's not much room in this cupboard space for anything else really, so we're just going to go around the corner. We'll drill through into the corner and drop all those armed cables through and around the side, straight into the isolators. We'll route from upstairs down here. We'll just go same way along this tray work. This tray work's already in place, so we might as well use it, and then we'll just cable tie it to the others and straight outside up the wall into the loft space where Reese is boarding out. He's boarding all the floor, all the wall. He's also putting some fireproof boarding up there for where all the inverters are getting installed. So yeah, this is where the location of the inverters go in. The customer's using this room at some point in the future, so we decided to put it through here. The access is alright, to be fair. So we decided just to board out the floor, board out the backing, and then put some fireproof boarding on the back wall where all the inverters are getting installed. The cable route's quite a long one, so we'll probably end up putting some banding in and running all the cables through. Yeah, the run's quite long, but I think we're going to try and do most of it on the roof and then drop it in. It is a little bit scary. When I went there and the customer was shouting back, I'll hear him. I didn't know how to get back. So I'm just now figuring out how to place everything on the wall, because we've got fuse board, the gen meter to install. This gen meter clocks us how many kilowatt hours the solar is generated since it's been installed, and then we've also got an isolation point to install, so something along those lines inside of each other. And like I said, we've got two of everything. Now we've got to place everything on this wall to make it look nice and pretty. So I like things to look nice and pretty. Sort of line on the right hand side, so then your armoured can come through this wall straight into isolator, and same again at the bottom, straight into isolator. So that's what I'm thinking. Figuring out where the armoured are going to come in. Tails. This on. So it's day 2 and the roofers have arrived. As you can see, they're putting the solar panels on the new side of the property. They were going on 5 separate roofs. You've got the main roof south facing, and then you've got 4 other east and west roofs, so 2 west and 2 east. So yeah, and we'll show you some clips throughout the day of the progress. Different location today. We're on day 3 of this manor house. A little bit spooky up here. I know Reese has been scared a few times, ain't you, pal? So this is where we're installing the inverters. We've got 2 3-phase inverters. We've got 3 strings on each inverter. You got your armoured cable going up here, and then your HO7 flexing straight into the inverter. So I had a little bit of a panic attack. I was told that this inverter had 3 separate trackers, so we've done 3 separate strings. And then I've just literally looked underneath there and there's only 2. So we're going to have to convert this into 2 strings, which will luckily, the voltage range on these inverters are up to 1100 volts. And I think these panels are around about 45 volt per panel. So we're working it all out. I've just had a look at the diagram again, and I think we're just about to get away with it. So we get about 20 panels per tracker. So we've got 2 east roofs, 2 west roofs, and 1 south roof. So we can pretty much separate the south roof, 2 separate strings, and then east and west can go together. So then we've got 4. The only thing is I've just finished my wiring with the DC isolators. Now I'm going to have to take one out and then couple one of the strings or 2 of the strings back up together. We can sort that out after all the panels are all on. Yeah, so that's it for today up in here. We'll sort of come back to this when it's all been completed. We'll show you some more shots of the AC room going down to the cellar and stuff like that. Reese has been in the loft literally for 2 days. As you can see, all the DC cabling. Look how sexy that looks. He's ran all the cabling. I think the furthest point we were around about 35 metre, weren't it? And then he's sort of then working his way back. So he's on his last string now, and then we'll couple up, like I said, 2 of them to make it into 4 strings instead of 6. So yeah, so that's that up here. And then we'll show you outside. The roof is on the roof now. They've done all the rail work. They're now starting panelling the system. up on there, so they've got like 59 panels in total. So yeah, we'll show you around there later on.
Hey guys, I'm just going to jump on the voiceover to take over from Corey here because the rain has made the mics go crackly, but he is explaining that these are the latest double-sided solar panels. We often get asked why they're double-sided, and the simple answer is because of the surface area, because they can generate electricity from both sides, so you're effectively capturing more sunlight and producing more power. With older single-sided panels, the back of the panel was basically wasted space. Now, instead of losing that opportunity, we're using it to add more solar cells and generate more electricity overall.